Hi, everybody. Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. I'm not late. I'm not doing a poo. I was on time. Anyway, if you're new, Randy, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe, all that good stuff. I thought today I mean, there's been the news yesterday that Odubeko has returned from his loan spell at Huddersfield, and then also it was released news yesterday afternoon that Joseph Anang is returning from his loan spell early from Stevenage, and then today in the last sort of couple of hours, Coventry, Peterborough United came out and said that he's returned back to West Ham from his loan spell, and it's also been widely reported by X that Frederick Alves is going to be returning from his loan spell from Sunderland. So I thought, the boys are back in town. So what I thought I'd do today is go through their loan spells, how many games they played. I know Stell does it every day, every week, and it's really good in terms of loan watch, but that's sort of a week by week. I'm just going to do it collectively for each of their loan spells. And obviously, Nathan Trott is still on loan at AS Nancy in Ligue 2. And we can talk about him as well. Let's say we've got the chat quickly. Father Snowman, good afternoon, good morning. Or good afternoon. More your weather now, and it's bloody freezing on church. Drone stuff, good morning to you. Ludders, good morning. Gazza's in the house as well. Afternoon, Simon, nice to see you nice and early. Bright and early, happy my friend. James is in. Hopefully you're well as well. I'm not late. I was here at 12. I clicked the button at 12:30, and then I just do all the little bits as well. No, I'm not having a poo. Black Country Hammer, good afternoon to you. Robert, hope you're well. Luke, hope you're well. Afternoon, John, hope you're well. Grant, when we signing Mbappe, we'll talk about transfers. We're going to do a proper transfer show tonight as well. Why have they returned? Are they not up to it? Well, we can talk about that. Anyway, sounds like they will be sold or released. None of these players get enough game time, which means they can't have been good enough, so they will have little impact with us. Well, there we go. John has spoken. As I said, just a bit of a precursor. What's coming up the rest of what's coming tonight, basically. So obviously tonight we'll be doing our transfer roundup show, focusing mainly on and what we do is, for those of you who are new to what we do, Stell does a lot of transfer news on Monday, West Ham Weekly, and then on the Wednesday, Thursday, I tend to do like a roundup of what's happened in the last few days. And literally there's new news, new rumors every day, every hour. There's new stuff. So we'll be doing that, talking about mainly around the forwards, lots of forwards. There's a few names there who haven't been picked out recently, and so a few bit of news about them. So we'll go through all of them, and also, as always, I give you my Rusty rumor rating, the original rumor rating, Rusty rumor rating, out of 5, how I think they're going to go, and we'll have a good old chat about why we haven't bought anyone. Although we have, apparently, we bought not Anthony Martial, we bought Callum Marshall. Callum Marshall, apparently, from Linfield. And as a nice precursor, it's almost like I plan these things. Tomorrow night, 9 p.m, we've got George McCartney. George McCartney, the West Ham Northern Irish left-back, played over many, many games for us. We've got him on doing a live Q&A with you guys, talking about West Ham, his career, and also he's a coach at Linfield, who we bought apparently Callum Marshall off. So there we go. We can talk to him more about that. It's almost like I plan these things. Good afternoon. The quadruple is definitely still on. What loan contract these players on? Well, it's a year contract, but there's always a break clause, usually in January. Hence why. I know you've all missed it. Lunch for today: cheese and toast, caramel. Oh dear, there we go. Oh, the Tunnocks they're called. Personally, I think we should send them to a high level. We expect them to compete for places and perform. Send them to Southend. Nothing wrong with Southend. With a glass of diet lemonade. Very nice. We are apparently we were going to be talking about Dieng, Bamba Dieng tonight as well. So make sure you check that out. Right. Okay. Let's go through and look at these players. Look at these players a bit more. Looking at the stats. So as I said, the 4 of them now, obviously we know 3 of them are definitely back. And as we said, there's going to be potentially, it doesn't sound very, very nailed on that Frederick Alves is coming back. Some are also looking at defensive alternatives as well. So let's start with Coventry, 21-year-old. We all know him very well. In his current spell that's just come to an end, literally in the last couple of hours, he made 12 first-team appearances for Peterborough. He played a total of 428 minutes, which averaged just under 36 minutes 36 minutes per game. I don't know how many, not that many starts either of Connor. So it hasn't worked out for Connor as I think we'd hoped for. Now, obviously, don't forget next year, next season, this is obviously Noble's last season at the club. So, maybe Coventry might want to fancy his chances coming into next season, perhaps. Whether he goes out on loan again, who knows in January. As you said, the 21-year-old has made 12 appearances so far. A third of them were being starts, so he's only started 4. So, but obviously, so many people in front of him in terms of Declan Rice, Souček, Vlasic, and the skipper as well as the boys coming through, which we'll talk about as well. So, not a fantastic loan spell for him, as Stel would have alluded to during his shows, where he talks about every loan watch basically every weekly. Joseph Anang, 21, 18 appearances for Stevenage. When he plays, he starts. He's a goalkeeper in it, so hardly surprising that he's played 90 minutes. So 18 appearances, reasonable. A reasonable loan spell for him, I think. He was competing for the number 1 jersey at Stevenage, but and he's still young. He's 21. Goalkeepers, don't necessarily get into the sort of proper first team in terms of Premier League and Championship until they're sort of mid to late 20s. And obviously with Darren Randolph, Davy Martin maybe moving on, definitely maybe moving on by the end of the summer, I'd imagine. Fabianski, Areola, Sam Johnson. There is space, I think, for a young goalkeeper. Obviously, we've got the 17-year-old Hungarian goalkeeper, Hagi. I can't pronounce that, as you all know. So, but Joseph seems to be playing quite well. Obviously Nathan Trott as well, we haven't mentioned, but he's obviously staying at AS Nancy. He's made something like 16 first team appearances so far this season. Tends to be the league goalkeeper, although a couple of times he's been on the bench. Whereas, and I think I think Nancy did a cup upset against the League High Flyers Rennes on penalties in the round of 32 at the Coupe de France on Sunday. So, although he was on the bench for that. Mipo Odubeko, as you know, he returned back from his loan spell to Huddersfield, yesterday rather, 6 appearances for Huddersfield, 107 minutes in total he's played, averaging 18 minutes. So you can see why, is it worth him being out there? He might as well just be back in the under 23 squads. Obviously, he came on and off against Man United earlier this season. Maybe it was a step too far, to be honest. Who knows? Obviously, we can talk about the youth team guys coming through as well, in terms of people like Okaflex and people like that. They may, by going on loan, it may have meant that his place has been overtaken. Maybe, I don't know. Who else we got? As I said, Frederick Alves potentially will be coming back. As X widely reported, I think he will be, to be honest. 22-year-old, 9 appearances for Sunderland so far this season, 104 minutes played. Ironically, today I think the club put out their loan watch, and he came on. None of the loanees, so to speak, in terms of the UK loanees, played over the Christmas period, it seems, and he came on for the Black Cats thumping 5-0 win over Sheffield Wednesday over the New Year weekend. But they were already came for the last 10 minutes. They're already 5-0 up. So yeah, so I don't think that's gonna really. That's why I can see him definitely coming back from his low spell. Obviously, since they've come back. We are, the under 23s are top of the league and having a laugh. So, they've come back. They've gone away and come back, and the under 23s are dominating the Premier League too. And obviously, we've recently in the Europa League, and also in the Premier League, we were seeing more and more of the under 23s breaking through, or the youngsters breaking through. People like, obviously, we've got Perkins, we've got Longelo, we've got Alessi, Baptiste, Ashby, and many more breaking through. So they, these 4 guys coming back, they're all. Odubeko's 19, but the others are in their 20s. it's it's going to be a tough ask for them to go back, which mean they could go out on loan again, or maybe seeing how they get along in the summer, in sort of January until the end of the summer, and then seeing what's going to happen with them. It's a shame because some of them are really, I mean, Anang and Trot are being highly regarded. I mean, Trot is having game time. Anang had a lot of game time, so the goalkeepers done reasonably well, but the rest, Coventry as well. I mean, that's someone we all thought was going to have a really good season with us, and they sent him out on loan. And obviously, Odubeko was the golden child, wasn't he, in terms of being that forward position and that striker we always wanted. He turned down Man United for us, but it hasn't worked out in terms of Huddersfield. I think he was unlucky in Huddersfield because Jordan Rhodes and a few others, the injuries they had weren't as severe, so they came back into the team a bit quicker than anticipated. But you would assume that he would have even got a start. You know what I mean? Everything out for the bench for him. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. What we say? Do you expect to get more game time than Kral? Yes, I do. I think I do. I honestly think I do. Kral's got to get any game time. I think neither are going to get game time, to be honest. But I mean, you've got Leeds coming up on Sunday. I think you might see some of the youth team in there. I don't think you see any of these boys in there, to be honest. It's a bit too soon for them to come back. They need to re-establish themselves in the pecking order amongst the kids as well. So, but I think, particularly the bench at the moment, it's sometimes looking a bit thin, particularly when we play two goalkeepers on the bench. It could add a bit more squad depth, particularly with COVID. We don't know, COVID's one of these things where every day someone's coming down with something. And I think I was listening to some of the transfer stuff that's been going on the various channels. And one of the things that people are saying, the agents are saying, I think it was, I can't remember who it was, one of the channels, was COVID, because people don't want to get rid of their players because they don't know what's going to happen. So they need to buy before they sell, so to speak. So, and then the board don't want to spend money before they've got recruit money. So a lot of people in sort of this between a rock and a hard place, to be honest. So I think getting these guys back in maybe useful, and particularly in the COVID era we live in at the moment. Can't see these kids playing too much. I can't either at all, not in the first team, but I think they could be useful additions for the squad moving forward for the rest of the season. Finally got COVID. Congratulations. Well done, Hartley. Anang is the only player to sign papers from the foundation at West Ham. Good to know. Interesting to know. What Anang experience gained there? It was. I mean, Stevenage, I want to say League 1, League 2. Anyway, whatever, League 1, League 2 is, for a goalkeeper, you got to think, Christ, particularly a young goalkeeper, how many sort of big burly centre backs and forwards have they? It's great. It's great experience, and I think coming back and there's definitely places for him, particularly on the 23 squad as well. I think as the Hungarian guy, I think he's under. I think Hegi, whatever his name. I think he's under 17. I think he's 17 or 18. So there's competition there for sure. Let everyone talk to each other. Spurs, a very, very funny Arsenal for life. You've got in the Europa League. Indeed, never heard that cup before. Indeed. Yeah, but Chelsea have been as sharp as lately. Of course, it's the Carabao Cup this week. As if the others turn up, isn't it? Was it Liverpool when their game cancelled? Unbelievable. To be fair, would rather have these boys on the bench than Yama and Masuaku. Fair enough, you see what I mean? Gives you an alternative. Apparently, we've offered Flamenco an 18-month and future fee for Gabagol. We're going to talk about everything around the transfers later on tonight. There's a few new names on the old list. If anyone's on Twitter, I was very proud of this. I put together the sort of a list of everyone we've been sort of linked with to the tune of "We Didn't Start the Fire." And I've called it "We Didn't Start the Rumours." I was so impressed with myself. I just did it like to me a couple of takes, but it's quite fun. So on Twitter, the West Ham Network, or on my Twitter, or on Facebook as well, we've posted it. Obviously, we can't post it here because we get demonetized straight away, but it's a bit of fun. So have a look, have a giggle, share it. Let's get it viral. Let's make something viral that's actually worth it rather than COVID. Today I was talking about. Don't mention you said. Well, I thought my singing was quite good, to be honest. West Ham 11, Miami's 11 coming back. Yeah, we do it as and when. As I said, we've got some good names lined up over the next couple of months, actually, really. But it's some celebrity fans as well as some ex-players. There's one I can't see happening. He's up for it, but I can't see it happening. But we'll see. I just can't see it. He's let me down before, but we'll see. And a few others as well. We keep them going as and when. As I said, we've got George McCartney on tomorrow night doing a live Q&A talking about his time at the club. We'll try and get the inside track from Callum Marshall, who the guy from Linfield, the 17-year-old, apparently we've signed already. Linfield has said we signed him, but West Ham haven't come out and said it. So that'd be fun tomorrow as well, and maybe next week we try and get Bish back on. We never really, that one fell through, so we'll try and get Bish back on for next week. Maybe it's weird when it's 1 game week. Do you know what I mean? When it's a 1 game week, because obviously tonight we're doing a transfer roundup. My sort of scattergun, approach, just going through all these different names just to bamboozle you. And then we'll do tomorrow. We'll have George McCartney on. And then we'll have probably Saturday, we'll have the preview for the Dirty Leeds game, the FA Cup. And then Sunday, Anton will be doing the watch. And I'm going to imagine Still will hopefully report back from the supporters club if we have a good Wi-Fi connection. That depends. The Arsenal will be playing Liverpool on the 23s if he goes ahead. Well, who knows? I know. Whereas all the other games, I think the cup games is different. Because everyone talks about, that game in Liverpool played on, Aston Villa under 17s or whatever. Wasn't that in the cup? That wasn't in the league. That was in the cup. And I think the cup games are differently. You can see, the effect that, they basically UEFA just kicked Tottenham out of the Mickey Mouse Cup, didn't they? Really? Because they couldn't qualify. They couldn't sort of go through all fulfill the. Was it against Rennes? I can't remember who it was against. They couldn't fulfill that fixture, so they basically kicked them out. And that's what will happen. You either play the kids or you're out, because we need to keep the things going. We need to keep the rounds going, which is a shame because Liverpool got there, and we'll see what happens. P45 for Masuaku and Yarmolenko. Cocktails would be good. Yeah, lovely. Have you heard the gangster? I have. The Governor B. Great. We're trying to get him on the channel, actually. Governor. I've spoken to him before. Moyes is not interested in Barbosa. We've been linked with, I've just done it, I think we've been linked to 27 strikers. 27 strikers, including the ones we talked about today. There's a few new names we're talking about today. 27 strikers. I think it's 41 strikers or attacking midfielders. 27, 28 defenders, about 10 defensive midfielders. It's ridiculous, isn't it? We love West Ham. What we do? We love West Ham. Very good. Thank you much. Yama and King Arthur will have a late run in. We'll see. Would love Stuart down. We've spoken about us. We've spoken to his people. We'll see. We'll try to get Stuart on the show. Need that Russell Brand interview soon. I'm trying. Honestly, he did a thing the other day about his love for West Ham on one of his channels. Yeah, I'm trying with Russ. I'm trying. We've got I won't say we have some good ones coming, but one hope. There's two I'm hoping to get in next couple of weeks. There's one I've already lined up for April. That's how far I have to plan ahead for some people, and when he's finished filming, so that'd be cool. After what's the word on the French left back at Everton? Digne. We'll talk about Digne tonight actually at 9 p.m. on the transfer special show. I don't think we're going to get him. I think they want 30 million quid for him. We're not going to spend 30 million quid on a left back. Realistically, are we? There, in my opinion, it was none. There we go. 30 million quid. Like George is a top man. George is a love. George McCartney is one of the sweetest men I know, and he's really looking forward to coming on and chatting. And so it'd be great to get loads of people on and just to show the love. Just to show the love. 99 players. We won't sign one. That sounds about right. 27. That's ridiculous. Most linked with there. Indeed. Has Arthur gone to AFCON as well? I don't think they qualified. I don't think they qualified. Arthur's country, if I'm right. Who's fourth? You're fourth. Are you fourth? Congratulations. Well done. Good luck to you, son. Good luck to you. They have closed the first team training ground at Liverpool. Ridiculous. Yes, I'm 27. No, it was Ren. It was Ren. Sorry, thank you. I even looked it up to double check. Thank you so much, Jazza. Come back and see us in May. Oh, we're having a laugh, Stuart. We're having a laugh. Marseille, the latest striker. We are going to talk about Dieng, Mbappe Dieng. Dieng. That sounds like something trying to clear back his throat, but we're going to talk about him. 21-year-olds, 21-year-old, 20-year-old. Talk about him. He's quite interesting, an interesting player. Some really good comparisons. So why is that going in the summer like that? I have no idea. No idea. Is it a heat thing? It's always in that sort of January, wintry stuff. Is it a heat thing potentially? I don't know. 30 million for a player that can't get a game. Well, he can get a game, but he kicks off with bloody what's his face? With Rafa in it. I don't see him. I don't see us getting him. I'll be honest. I can't see it happening. 30 million quid. It's a lot of money. 28-year-old, good player. You maybe got about 3 or 4 seasons out of him, I reckon. No sell-on value for him. Not a very West Ham signing. And apparently his temperament, the way he's all kicked off because he hasn't got in the side, doesn't really show the best, does it really, to be honest, in the best light for the old Moisey MOT. And also, I think, there was talk about, us getting him on loan. That's not going to happen. They've already spent money on, they bought Patterson from Rangers. They bought the guy from Dynamo Kiev as well. So they need to start to make some money back. So, no, we're not going to, someone that much value, they'll sell him to someone like Chelsea, I think. Get them all in. Africa is 2 in the summer. That's what I thought. Who wants to play in Africa? Doesn't represent? He can do if he chose to, because he's not a full French international. He's played under 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 and 21s, I think. But he's not a full international, so he can represent. I can't remember the country. Have you seen the Premier League profile pictures in Twitter? Check if you haven't. I'll have a look. The Premier League profile picture on Twitter. Right, we're going to do this now. The Premier League profile. Premier League profile picture on Twitter. It's the Antonio dive. Fair play. I actually think we would pay for left back. Maybe not one who's 28. I totally agree. I don't think we'd buy one for that amount of money at that age. If he was 24, 25, yes, I could see that happening, but not someone at his age already. Bones Liverpool is doing the rounds. I don't think it's going to happen. Why would he? I can't see him leaving at all. And it's a bit late for Liverpool to if they want to get him because these guys going to the AFCON, they should have got him 1st of January, innit? 1st of Jan. I think they're too expensive. Josh Doig for me. Josh Doig, Hibernian. We were linked with him, weren't we? There's loads. There's Anthony Robinson. There's Buchanan from Derby. There's lots of alternatives. He's off. He's not AF in. I thought he was going to say he's not half hot, but not hot AF. AF. I thought he might be chipping. No, he's not. He's got 30 million. They want. Because I think they spent 15 million quid on the guy from Kiev. They must have spent, I don't know, they must have spent Patterson 10 million, something like that from Rangers. Who knows? 60 plus Origi. I'd let him go to. I can't see him coming. I can't see him going at all. I can't see us selling any of our first teamers. Maybe some of the squad players if people come in for him. But as I said, with COVID, you don't necessarily want to get rid of some players. I mean, the fact is, I think it's quite useful us getting these 4 guys back from loan spells because it means maybe we could sell some deadwood and we still got a nucleus of a team. If Liverpool are prepared to pay that, let's see. I don't think they will. Would be cool if they had more fans. Boom, boom, very, very good indeed, Luke. Loving the jokes. As I said, so the news today that Connor Coventry's coming back from his loan spell at Peterborough. Yesterday, Mipo Odubeko's back. Joseph Anang's back from his loan spell at Stevenage. It's widely felt that Alves is coming back from Sunderland on his loan spell. So we'll have 4 more bodies, so to speak, coming into the team. Arguably the only one out of those 4 who have made an impression is Anang, who's played, I think it was 18 games, 90, and we'd played 90 minutes. I think Odubeko only played like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I've done the stats. Go back and watch all the stats. But also with the youth team, basically progressing the under 23s, top of the league, and a lot of them progressing into the first team for the Europa League squads. And I think you'll see a few of them. I think you'll see a smattering of them in the team on Sunday, particularly obviously because now we've got the Norwich game next week as well. So we've got two Premier League home game week next week. I can't see them being I can't see them playing too many. I mean, but then Leeds have got so many injuries at the moment. They're one COVID away, one COVID's breakout from really up shit creek without a paddle. To be honest, they've got so many people injured at the moment. It's ridiculous. I heard yes, he is. Yeah, as I said, him and Tosin, the centre back. We've been linked with both of them. But we'll see. And Anang to take Martin's place in the squad. I totally agree. I think Martin will end up moving into coaching role at the club, but we'll see. Is Odubeko able to make the I don't know. He might be based on the criteria in the same way that depends. Because it depends how long he's been in the club. Because that's what Alcoflex is in the Europa League B squad. So obviously you've got the A squad, which is all the first team players. But then I think 24 hours before you can then include a number of B squad players who are the homegrown players. I think he does, but I'm not too sure. Haven't seen the Talifico leaks. Might mean we're never truly in for him. I haven't seen anything for Talifico, to be honest. Great player, 29 as well, isn't it, Talifico? So again, he would cost. He'd be a lot cheaper than what's name? Then the Talifico. How old? He's 29. I want to say Talifico is 29. Up here for thinking, down there for dancing. 29. So for me, I think, yeah, great player for Ajax. The thing is, old Seb will probably have a word in his ear, wouldn't he? And Robinson, more likely indeed. Phillips being injured is a blessing for us against Leeds. He is, and he's still be injured for another month or so. So I think, yeah, he'll miss both games. So obviously we play him on Sunday, then we play Norwich in the FA Cup, then we play Norwich at home on the Wednesday, and then we play them again, Leeds again on the Sunday. I wonder if Leeds will, yeah, I suppose it's only Leeds, only down the road. It's not like it's another country or whatever. They could, I was thinking whether they stay around London, but there's no point. David Goldster, they're doing everything to bring in players. I know that they are. No idea. Any news? Unbelievable. Unbelievable, Luke. Thank you so much. We'll just move on from that one. I did actually say at the start of September, we don't need anyone in August, or sell my feet is the same. We do have some more than okay. You got this. Yeah, I think I think we definitely need at least. I mean, for me, a reasonable, an acceptable transfer window would be a centre back and a striker. But as I said, I think Stell mentioned it before. This is Moyes' 5th transfer window, and hasn't had a great record with strikers. Hasn't had a great record with strikers in his life. You know, I think people like Andrew Johnson, who's banging him in for Palace, went to Everton and didn't do so well. I can't see him changing. And I think there's, I mean, I know Antonio came out, didn't he, yesterday and said that he wants people to fight for his competition. He wants the strikers to come in, so he has someone to go up against. And I get that, but I don't think Moyes does. For me, it's like, the fact is, we'll talk about more of the strikers situation tonight, more of the forward situation. But as I said, 27 forwards we've been linked with. Oh, that's just on my show. I'm sure there's been a few others who have, there's been half an inch of a news column have appeared, and I haven't picked them up. But there's 27. That's a lot. That's a lot. There are some ridiculous ones as well. There's some proper ridiculous ones. I'm going to talk about tonight. Some which you're thinking, how? No. But I'll leave that to tonight. And again, all these things, all we do is we report the rumors. Someone else might have made them up, but we reporting them. Or it's as it might be an agent trying to get a deal, or We'll just report them just so you know what's going out in the news to do with West Ham. Do you think we can win the league? No, I don't think HL game. I'll be honest, mate. I think the best chance would have been last season, but just because how weird the world is. What we got here, I half expect Dan in marches with fedora and notepad looking for the next Messi. Would you take Sarr? Chelsea said, I'd take anyone, to be honest. I think Sarr is a good. He's not bad centre back actually, but again, I think again, we have to put a caveat on anyone who comes in or anyone we're linked with. If it's for the top of the greedy six, they're not going to sell to us, unless we pay silly money, and that's if they want to sell to us, if they have the inclination to. Otherwise, they need to recoup some money from a sale, someone they've bought in, because we're in that league now. We're in that league. So I know people go, oh, we've got a Premier League experience. And yeah, you do, but that comes with a premium. And also, it's not just us spending the money, but it's whether the other club wants to sell to us. You know what I mean? So it's like, even like Origi and stuff like Liverpool aren't going to sell a player to us to make us stronger, particularly now when they haven't got their two of their three strikers. So, there's this sort of balancing act, in my opinion. So, for me, I think it's a bit tricky. It's a bit tricky, but we'll see. Who knows? Or the other thing is, I don't necessarily want to do business with someone, and then it precipitates one of our players going. So, like, people said Origi, Bowen, they're interested in. I don't want to pick up the phone, and they go, yeah, we'll have him, but we'll buy Bowen. It's like, what? No. No. So we'll see what happens. We'll win the league with Antonio Golden Boot. I love your optimism. Fair play to you. We would need owners to win the league. I think anyone would need owners like Newcastle to win the league. The way it is at the moment, only one team can win the league, and 99 times out of 100, it's going to be Man City, because they've turned. And I read an article the other day about Guardiola turning. He did it with Bayern Munich. He's doing it with Man City. He's turning it into sort of a one team league, really. I mean, when City, the other teams were doing well because City weren't at full pace. As soon as City at full pace, I don't think there's anyone else. Yeah, they might lose a game here, but consistently they are, and they're just going. They can sell Torres to Barcelona, and then they'll probably get someone in who's, and you're like, bloody hell, fair play to them. But that's taken them a time to get up. They haven't literally like Blackburn with with old Jack, when he came in and put loads of money, and they got Sutton and they got Shearer, and they won the league. It took them the first season they got second, wasn't it, or third, and then they won it the next season. So you would need, unfortunately, it gets to a point now where, unless there is anything happens like we've had in the last 18 months, where everyone's behind closed doors, and it's a pretty much level playing field, I think, then, because you haven't got the fans playing that sort of extra level of, come on, we can do this at 12 man. That's why I think, some teams struggled last season, like Sheffield United and stuff like that, who are used to playing with the 12th man. So that's why they went down, and Fulham and the tighter grounds. But anyway, that's just me waffling on. West Ham to win the league. Thank you. But you'll be full. Fair play. What we got? Lewandowski to Rice. Would you do the deal? No. Not at all, because I just can't see it happening at all. Because why would it? Because Lewandowski is a fantastic player, but no. Yep, it has been postponed. It's literally came out in the last 1 minute. The Arsenal and Liverpool game for the cup final, semi-final first leg, has been postponed. So, despite the fact what we always said about that had to play, not going to happen. Salah is going to run with the golden boot. Yep, totally is. Liverpool game has been off indeed. We should put random offers out there just to disrupt other teams. It happens to us constantly. It does. There was a report today from a centre-back we were linked with in the summer. I think it was Ren, Moroccan centre-back, and his agent basically just came out and said, we heard that West Ham was sniffing, so I went crazy and told everyone, and we got him a new deal. And that's what a lot of them say. Lingard's ready to sign a new, apparently so. We'll talk about it later. Likewise, we're not going to sell to top other than that is silly money. Indeed. Flip side, as I mean, Bowen, Rice, all that stuff. They're going to come with a premium as well. Yes, you've hit the head on the head. Respect to that and agree. Indeed. You okay, Rush? You look a bit down. You looked a bit down there. No, I'm fine. I'm all good, man. Whatever happens in the cup, just don't let Spurs win it. Indeed. Have you seen the Paddy Power advert of Jack Wilshere? It's very, very funny. Fair play to him. Anyone who'll sign, he's ready, he's fit, he's ready to sign, apart from Tottenham. Man City rarely get loads of injuries. It seems that they're the only team that injuries set us back every season. They do, and I think our season, for a lot of other teams, their season is determined by how the lack of injuries they get through that season. Last season, we were quite fortunate. we're used to someone like Antonio getting injured. I think we're used to someone like Bonner getting injured because they always do. It was the Declan Rice one which buggered us up. I think if Declan Rice hadn't got injured, we'd be in the Champions League this year. That's the way I see it. Or maybe we might be knocked out by now, but that's the general way I could see it, to be honest. I think it's interesting to see, as you said, Man City, they always seem to cope. And I mean, Liverpool, remember Liverpool had like everyone was out. Literally all their centre backs were out, and they had like Jordan Henderson and James Milner playing centre back. But it does seem to be, our season in terms of how well we do is based on the level of injuries. Obviously, by all accounts, Zuma may be back by the end of this month. But Bonner is still, and it's both of them. If we had just one of them out, we'd cope. But it's both of them, wasn't it? And so Dawson and Diop as a pair can't play to the level we want them to play. One and Zuma, whether it's Dawson or Diop and Zuma, we play well. Diop plays a lot better. Craig Dawson plays a lot better when you've got to have a better, more commanding centre back playing with them. Similar last season when Bonner was playing, Dawson and him as a pairing were very, very strong. And then if Diop had to come in, it wasn't as strong, but it was still contendable. It was still good. If Liverpool come back, can we have another go? We'll have another go. Which, yeah, so I mean, we're ready. We're fit. Ericsson and Wiltshire to Brentford. Well, Ericsson wants to get into he put an article in the paper today about wanting to get into the World Cup squad. So we'll see. I don't want Rice to leave. No one wants Rice to leave. I wonder if we could be happier to have Lingard or to stop seeing about him changing his mind all the time. I'd like to see him in. I would like to see him in for the bounce. Because I think, and actually the last couple of, but maybe we don't need it because the last couple of games we've got that bounce back. Last season we were in a similar position. We were 10th coming into the end of the year. We had lost a few games, a little bit near, and he came in and he just gave us new energy, which was even more important there because you'd have the fans. You didn't have the fans there. So for me, I think that I'd like to see him in. Because I think he would help complement the squad. I think it'll be interesting to see, how it would work with Lanzini, who's finding form as well. Arguably, he'd play in that 10 role as well. But if it means that we lose, I mean, I read a report today that apparently we've submitted an £8 million bid today but it's all just news, isn't it? Liverpool now able to cancel games. It's mental, isn't it? It's mental. And it's like Newcastle. How many games have Newcastle postponed because of COVID? And it's like, they're just waiting for Trippier to sign and very say, we can play them again. They're right now. Only moan about two things. New signings not making it. Indeed. Just saying, sure. Is it legit? Well, apparently they've closed. They've had a real bad outbreak. But then it really frustrates me because you see, again, it's the criteria. I think there needs to be some clarity in terms of this criteria because, Liverpool last season had played against Aston Villa side. You know what I mean? The EFL have said that the match has been postponed following a formal request by Liverpool due to a severe outbreak of COVID infections amongst the management and playing staff. The EFL says they've been in constant dialogue with the Reds over the last 48 hours, and significant developments over this period have resulted in the club reporting an ever-increasing number of COVID cases. Having now reviewed the circumstances involved, the league has accepted Liverpool's request after determining, albeit reluctantly, that postponement was the only option as the club looks to mitigate against the further risk of infection amongst its own squad and staff, ensuring public health was protected by not the travelling from Liverpool to London. Fair enough. I get it. Yeah, I get it. I get it totally. All these strikers mentioned, probably sound like goalkeeper, David, mate, all these cancellations don't add up at the end of this at all that's what I mean. But we won our games when Declan was injured last season. We certainly did. But I think we just, not all, there was sometimes where I think, I don't know. Just listen to We Didn't Start the Rumours. Thank you much, Ian. We'll get it trended. Let's get it on iTunes. Me and my dulcet tones. It's needed if West Ham needs a goal. I think Lingard gives you a different option, doesn't it? And it's something we haven't got is options. Is a number of different options. Maybe we tend to put like for like players on. So if Boeing went off of Vlasic, they're sort of right wingers who cut inside and move forward a little bit, or Ben Rahm, similar types of players. I think Lingard does stuff which basically Declan Rice has been doing this year in driving the ball forward. There's not many people who run with the ball, like run forward. Masuaku does that. I'll say quietly in case still shouts me. But Masuaku will take the ball and run. So Mrs. Bunn is obviously calling me because it's lunchtime. Hiya. Yep, lunchtime. So she's back at work today. So even if Lingard come back, we would not have the same impact. I know what you mean. I don't think lightning doesn't strike twice, but he's a man on a mission, isn't he? He's a man who needs to play. He needs to get into the team. He needs to perform because he wants to get in that World Cup squad. It's his last chance. We are part of the top six, not greedy. Indeed, as you said, BBC I thought mentioned top three when we have top four. Yeah, that's what I mean. Top four, and that's gone back to the top four now. And that's the thing he had. And I was listening to the Man United game against Wolves, and they were talking about the Champions League, and they were playing. They basically listed everyone, and he begrudgingly, almost under his breath, went, "Oh, I'm not forgetting West Ham." It's like, sorry, what was that? What was that? Who? Not forgetting who? It's funny, isn't it? It's funny, but no one likes us. We don't care. League is crazy because of cancellations. Burnley have played 4 less than City and Chelsea. And the thing is, they've got to play. They're going to have to play these games. So, we're quite fortunate the fact that we were able to play at Norwich game. We've got a Norwich game out of the way quite quickly because of the January's week. And so that's good for us. Because I think we're in good form as well. I think it's a great. I mean, that Norwich game probably, to be honest, wasn't a great time. I would have missed it as well. So I'm quite happy because I'm back. Because I was like self-isolating before I got my PCR results. So we weren't in a great place then. We would have probably got. It would have been a great game. The crowd were now we're on the back of 2 wins. And hopefully have beaten Leeds in the cup as well. Bosh, we're up there. So it's come at a great time for us, I think. If you had loads of cases, then fair enough. But it strikes me that I'm making it. I think they are. But I think I have to. Look, I think you have to be fluid now with these things. You can't. The world is changing every day, isn't it? Every day, every minute, it seems. So rules that we put into place now. And also, as a result of the postponement, they have slightly shifted the order in terms of things. So the ties have been switched around. So the first of the 2 legs between Arsenal and Liverpool will take place at Anfield on the 13th. And then the rearranged game, down the second leg, is scheduled to be played at the Emirates on the 20th. So basically, they're flipping it all around. Means that they've got to push that game until mid to late January now. So there we go. Foundation's back in action is under 16s in the JPL Shield. Very good. One-legged Traore Masuaku in. Right, I think Cop already laid the out for this a week ago. He's no surprise. No, he's been saying it. He didn't fancy this week. They're still playing it though. They're playing it in January. They're playing the 20th. And is that benefiting? It benefits Arsenal more, to be honest, because you play the second leg away from at home, and that's obviously what you want to do. The idea is you want to play and I think that's what we are going to do because we won the group at Europa League stages. I think is we play the second leg of our 16s at home. Don't quote me, but I think that's what happens. So actually, it's benefited Arsenal, I think, more. Surely the club should take responsibility for the outbreak. That keeps isolating. Does it matter if it's the players that count? I mean, David Moyes, Moisey. Spent how many games on the with Alan Irvine take it? I didn't even realise until I saw a picture of him on the. That's not Moisey. Where's Moisey gone? And someone said, "Oh, he's got COVID." Okay, fair enough. Irons indeed. Top 4 would be nice, but I really want to see Noble raise. And obviously, if you win the Europa League, go into the Champions League. There we go. We weren't even in the conversation for who would finish 4th. I'll have a word with Jim. Cowboy 2 legs. So how are they going to manage to get more play? Well, they have, as you said, they just have the elephant in the room about these missing. Still. Oh, we're not going to get into politics. Such it's your individual choice. Has Noble improved since we got him? If not, why? He's improved when he plays against with better players, I think. But that's just me. What we got here, we've got West Ham women in the FA Cup quarter-final against Chelsea on the 19th. Fair enough. Klopp is a massive moaner. Has always had a go at referees. But that's what he does. But he still looks weird because he hasn't got his glasses. He still looks weird when he hasn't got his glasses. Anyway, ladies and gents, thanks for today. It's flown by. 45 minutes has flown by. Something tells me we are massive. We are indeed Bus Driver Ninja. We are indeed. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. If you were a member and you're like, why isn't my membership anymore? We cancelled a lot of memberships last in December. And you should have got a rebate from that. But we've moved to just 2 tiers. So if you would like to become a member again, there's 2 tiers, 1 or 2. Please join us again. And as I said, we've got lots of content coming up for our members as well as everyone else. I'll be back here tonight at 9 p.m. to talk about everything to do with transfers. As I said, we've got lots of forwards. We've had a whole host of new leads. Some ones which we haven't had before, haven't been mentioned previously, are in the pot, so to speak. So we'll be talking about all of them as well. And also, you can come on and make comments and slag everyone off as you always do. When will we get a West Ham mix on the channel? Music, you can't do music, mate, because we'll get demonetized straight away. Anyway, so thank you very much, everyone. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you enjoy your lunch. Hope you enjoy your breakfast in the States, your dinner if you're in the APAC regions. I'll be back here 9 o'clock tonight. So take care, stay safe. Come in your eyes, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye, my friends. Bye-bye.
It's like a family tree.